In this video, you are going to learn how to create a digital weaving using Google Drawing. This is what our final project will look like. And in order to get this effect with your digital photography, what we're going to need to do is first go into Google Drawings. To go into Google Drawings, you're going to go to your Google Drive. And then you are going to open up a new Google Drawing. So you go to New, go to More, and then Google Drawings. From here, you are going to create the weaving pattern. So the weaving pattern is created by making a shape like a rectangle. And we are going to just click the shape tool and then click this rectangle. And you're going to create a rectangle that's about 1.5 inches. Now there's a ruler at the top here, so it can kind of show you where about 1.5 inches is. If you are making these really long, it's going to look very strange in your final. So I usually recommend anywhere between like 1.5 to 2 inch. And you're going to create this rectangle. So it'll look like this. Right now, the fill color is this light blue. We need to change that. In order to get that digital weaving look, we're going to need to create a pattern that looks like it goes over and under. So I'm going to click my paint bucket or my fill. And once I'm into this fill, I have an option for gradient. Gradient means it's going to fade from one color to another. So I click gradient and then I'm going to go to custom. When I click custom, now I have a whole nother range of options and I'm going to keep the type of gradient as linear. I'm going to change the angle of it to 180 degrees. Then my next option is to add some gradient stops. Gradient stops are going to be where the color changes. And right now we have a color on the left and then we have a color on the right. We're going to add 3 more in the middle. So I'm just going to click add. And now I have 3 new little dots. When I move these, I'm going to try to space them pretty evenly, one in the middle and then one on either side. Okay. So the middle stops, the ones I just added, I'm going to change their color. So to do that, I click one of those circles and then I'm going to go up here and I'm going to click transparent. And I'm going to go right here in the middle and click transparent and that last transparent. Now I'm going to go to my ends. So I'm on the left side right now and I'm going to click that to black. And then I'm going to go to the right side right now and I'm going to click that to black. And you should have in this preview window something that looks kind of like a square with black ends and this middle that is completely white. We're going to hit OK. All right, so now we have one of the pieces of our weaving pattern. I'm going to copy and paste this. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure it's selected. I use my select tool and I'm going to click it so it has that blue outline. And now I'm going to copy and paste. So I can right click, copy, right click, paste, and now I have another one. I'm going to turn this, so that little circle right here allows me to turn this. So I'm going to turn my shape so that it's up and down. And now I'm going to use my guiding lines, those red lines. And when I find that it is lining up to be in the middle, the very middle of that rectangle, and you can see that red horizontal line, I'm going to let it go. So now it's lined up. Now what I want to do is I want to click and drag for both of these. So I'm going to go Control C, that's copy, or I'm going to go Edit, copy. And then I'm going to do Control V or Edit, paste, Control V. And now I'm going to line these up. And I see that red guiding line again. And I'm going to do this over and over again until I get one of the rows for my weaving. And it's okay if your design spills off the edge of the page a little bit, like this one. When we finish with it, it's just going to go away. So I'm going to go Control V one more time, and I'm going to line it up on this side because I've got to fill in this left side. Okay. So now I'm going to create the next set of weaves, this next row. I have a couple of options. I tend to like to get mine very perfect, so I'm going to click one of those verticals and I'm going to go Control C, Control V, and I'm going to use my guiding line so I can see that red line popped back up, horizontal red line. But then I also have these blue sort of guidelines, and when I move along, you can see how they kind of pop up. Those help me know where I'm lined up. And what I want to do is I want to get it close to the center, and then they pop up and it shows me that it's even. So this new vertical is spaced perfectly in the middle of that horizontal rectangle. I'm going to go Control C, Control V, and I'm going to do that again. Now I can do this pretty quickly once I start to understand the process. Drag and drop. So this is one of the ways to create that weaving pattern. And then I need to do the horizontals. Control V, I can line it up. And I'm using just those guidelines. So this is going to continue throughout your Google Drawing. And then we're going to add in another part to this pattern, which is going to make it actually look like there's some spaces between the weaving rows. Okay, so I would just continue this. I'm going to do a copy and paste all of it all at once. And this is going to take a little bit more time to line up. Okay, so I would just keep adding to this pattern. And then I have to go back in, before I'm finished, I have to go back in and I'm going to have to start adding some of these little black squares in between here. So I'm going to use my shape tool. I'm going to drag, make it black. And I'm going to check to see if my edges are good. I'm going to zoom in here and you can see my edges aren't real clean. So I'm going to shrink it up a bit and I'm going to make sure it fits tight. And now I can just plug those in. This pattern needs to look like it goes over and under, over and under. And as you continue to work, you might see areas where it looks a little off and you might need to stretch and fill it in. Adjust as needed so that your weaving pattern looks complete. I'm going to finish this up and then I'm going to show you the next step in just a second. So the next step is, after you finish your entire weaving pattern, is to insert a picture. So I have all my patterns going across and up and down. It's all filled in with those black squares. Now I have to go to Insert, Image, and I'm going to upload one from my computer. So I'm going to go and I'm going to find a picture of a landscape or of an item, a sunflower I can see right here. I'm going to actually scroll and look for a landscape. So I'm just going to click this picture. And then I'm going to drag it so that it covers the entire workspace of my Google Drawing. You should be able to see this black border. That's the edge of my workspace. So I'm just going to drag it. Make sure it covers. Okay. And then I'm going to click the picture because it's sitting on top of the weaving. And I'm going to go to Arrange, Order, and I'm going to send it to back. And now I have the weaving pattern on top of my landscape. And then I'm going to go to File, Download, JPEG. So now I've downloaded it. I can see what it looks like. Go to my downloads. And now I have two of them. Now this is my new one. That's all you have to do today. You have to create a weaving template and then put a picture behind it, and you're going to turn that into Google Drive today, or Google Classroom, not Google Drive. All right. If you have any questions, please try to ask someone around you, and hopefully together you guys can figure this out. Watch the video as much as you need, and I will see you after Christmas.